The relationship between India and the United States in the defense sphere has been one of the most visible symbols of a growing strategic partnership. Over the last 2 decades, India has moved from being a marginal buyer of U.S. military hardware to a key client, acquiring everything from C-17 transport aircraft and Apache attack helicopters to P-8I maritime surveillance planes. These purchases were not mere commercial transactions. They reflected a mutual belief that closer defense cooperation served the strategic balance in the Indo-Pacific, particularly in countering Chinese assertiveness. Yet, recent developments threaten to inject unwelcome uncertainty into this partnership. Former U.S. President Donald Trump's decision to impose an additional 25% tariff on Indian exports, raising total duties on some products to around 50%, has struck a discordant note. India, already focused on building domestic manufacturing under the Atmanirbhar Bharat policy, has reason to view such measures as economically hostile. Against this backdrop, a Reuters report claimed that New Delhi has paused plans to purchase American arms, including Stryker armored vehicles and additional Boeing P-8Is. The suggestion was that defense procurement had become entangled with trade disputes, a form of economic signaling between the two capitals. The Ministry of Defense quickly dismissed this as inaccurate, insisting that acquisitions are based on operational requirements, not diplomatic tit-for-tat. Still, perception matters. Even without an official freeze, the timing of any delays feeds into a long-standing Indian caution about overdependence on any one supplier, especially one whose policies can shift sharply with political winds. It also underscores a reality. While the United States is now India's third-largest arms supplier, more than half of India's existing military hardware still comes from Russia. Diversification is not just a preference, it is a strategic hedge. The stakes are considerable. For Washington, these contracts represent not only billions in revenue, but also a tangible means of embedding itself into India's defense architecture. For New Delhi, slowing procurement risks, extending capability gaps in maritime surveillance and armored mobility at a time when security challenges are hardly in retreat. And for the wider Indo-Pacific, a cooling of India-US defense ties would be read in Beijing as a strategic gift. Both nations have too much invested to let defense cooperation unravel over tariffs. But economic irritants can have long shadows, particularly when they align with broader debates about sovereignty, self-reliance, and strategic autonomy. If India and the United States wish to preserve the momentum of the past decade, they must firewall their security relationship from the churn of trade disputes. Strategic trust, once shaken, is slow to rebuild. The tariff crisis is a reminder that in geopolitics, as in economics, reliability is currency. Neither side can afford to spend it carelessly.